welcome.
Happy Wednesday. Oh, happy Thursday.
I was going to see if you were going to do that. Welcome, everybody. This is a very early edition. We don't usually start this early in the morning, yet also late, as we're not on Wednesday.
That's right.
Wendy's on Wellness Wednesday with a special live Thursday edition because we were celebrating Christmas with our families yesterday. I hope you all had a very, very Merry Christmas. My name is Dr. Wendy Sue Massey. I am a retired registered nurse, currently an alternative medical practitioner, holistic nutrition specialist, author, wife, mom, Gigi, lover of all things natural. And this is my amazing friend, Wendy Flournoy.
Hey, everybody. Wendy Flournoy, certified hypnotherapist, herbal enthusiast, wife, mom, Gigi, lover of all things natural and non-toxic, gardener, chef,
yes,
janitor.
Right. All the things. All the things. Well, and also in addition to Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah to all of our friends who celebrate.
Yes.
The lighting of the first candle was last night, and we celebrated for the first time. We decided that we were going to do it. It's just something that my eyes have been open to, and I don't see it as a right or wrong. You know, this is why Christ came back, so that we don't have to have any legalism of exactly what we celebrate and how. But the fact that he celebrated Hanukkah as a, good Jewish man, Jewish boy, was enough to make me want to dive in and just understand, why and what it was all about. And I just really love when you look at it from a Christian perspective and see how everything points back to him. And, it's called the Festival of Lights in a lot of, a lot of people that read, a lot of these festivals all have different names that all mean, they are all for the same thing. And Hanukkah also has the Festival of Lights. And so we're looking at it in our home as Jesus is the light of the world. It's just more of a reason to celebrate him and more of a way we can. And so enjoying that.
I love that.
What'd y'all do yesterday?
Yesterday was very quiet around here because we did a big thing Christmas Eve.
Okay.
Most of the grandbabies were here Christmas Eve. And I tell you that I took two of the grandbabies on a Santa train.
Yes.
Last Sunday, and that was an amazing experience.
I love that.
And I love being able to give experiences because I think it's just more memorable. It means more than any kind of stuff or material things.
I agree.
But, I hope to do that again with all of them.
Yes. Oh, that sounded so amazing. And your pictures were so great. I loved it.
I mean, they really enjoyed it. They didn't have to be cooped up in their little, tied up in their car seats on the ride. And I think it was, we went from Ashland, Virginia to Williamsburg, Virginia, and was very, very cold on Sunday. So the layover in Williamsburg was like 4.5 hours. So I was very concerned about, because everything in Williamsburg is outside. I was very concerned about them getting cold, not having a nap, and getting cranky and grouchy and all that. So I did make arrangements for us to be picked up in Williamsburg, so we didn't take the train back to Ashland.
Gotcha.
But for their ages, the 2-hour train ride there was plenty.
Oh, yes.
They got plenty of interaction with Santa Claus and Miss Claus and Christmas Carol and Rudolph.
I love it. I love it. That'll be something to do the round trip when they're old enough to enjoy the whole experience of Williamsburg too. And Williamsburg's amazing at Christmas time, but you're right. When they're that little, it's just going to be a nightmare trying to do anything.
And Jade, my 4-year-old granddaughter, she already let me know that she wants to do ice skating. She saw the ice skating rink when we were in Williamsburg. So, that will be on the list to do next time.
That's awesome. It's so funny you say that. We were watching the ball game. We've been watching a lot of football, obviously. Whenever it was that we watched the Green Bay at Lambeau Field, was it last night? Not last night. The night before last. Anyway, whenever it was,
the days are running together.
They're all running together, but they have a lot of stuff there at Lambeau Field, but they have an ice skating rink And I was proceeding to tell Bill how how Kirsty wanted to learn ice skating, and she did for a little bit. And I put them on one time, not even on the ice. And I was like, oh, no way. So we're watching that game, and there's a couple of kids with things that look like walkers.
Yes, they have them. They have them. They have them for roller skating too.
I didn't even know this.
See, I roller skated my whole life, and Rick and I went ice skating one time, and our goal was just to stay upright the whole time.
Well,
it is so different.
Yes.
It's different.
If I ever go ice skating, I mean, really, my heart's desire is to be somewhere tropical at all times. So it's not at the top of my list of things to do. But should I ever have the opportunity and my grandbabies want to go, get Granny a walker, because I'm going to get on that ice with one of them. Right. It's the only way I'm doing it.
When I go ice skating again, I'm using one of those things too, for sure.
Oh, gosh.
Definitely.
I thought that was so
cool. My ankles can handle the roller skating.
Yeah.
My ankles cannot handle the ice skating.
Oh.
It's different.
Yeah. Well,
they do say that anybody that can rollerblade can ice skate, because that's kind of the same. So
yeah, I've never done either successfully, I should say. I used to love roller skating, but even nowadays I can just picture bones cracking. That's all I can picture.
Oh, no. I still love to roller skate. I do.
I would love to get back out there and do it. All right. Well, I know that time is limited today just by our different schedules.
Yeah.
Wendy and I block off all mornings on Wednesdays for this on a regular weekly basis. And today being different, as you see, we're a lot earlier than normal. And, we have things going on today, still part of the Christmas season, but we didn't want to miss the opportunity to go live and share with you all. Originally, we'd planned on continuing with GLP-1 boosters. We are still doing that, but we were going to lead off with that. I want to make sure, because my passion gets very long when sometimes I don't want to overshadow what Wendy has prepared for us on green tea. And so we're going to cover that first, and then we'll go into the GLP.
That's right. Wendy's a lot more technical than I am. I just kind of, let's go. This is it. And that's done. So I did some research on the differences in the green teas, just because when we talked last week about the green tea, and I had no idea there was as many varieties as there are or anything. So I wanted to know the differences. Why are there so many? What are the differences? So what it basically boils down to is growing conditions, regions, methods of how it's harvested, and how it's processed. Because depending on the growing region, you can get different quality of leaves, and some grow in the sun, some grow in the shade, and depending on which one, you have different levels of oxidation. So that's why there are so many. What did you say you saw? Like 1,500?
Oh, maybe it was 1,500. I don't know. It was a lot, way more than I ever imagined. And I guess
that totally makes sense. Why now? Because if you have sun, shade, different regions, how it's processed, because some of them are steamed before they're sent out. Some of them are actually like just raw. Some of them are popped with rice, like popcorn. They pop the leaves with rice and call it popped. And I'm like, that's very interesting.
Huh.
So each difference gives you a different variety. Okay. So any kind of difference you have, whether it's region, how it's harvested, how it's processed, gives you a different green tea.
Okay. But
so I was like, okay, well, that totally makes sense.
It does. It does make total sense, and also explains why we get so many different odd names for them. It's probably more regionally named and everything.
Yeah.
So that being said, is there anything specifically we need to look at when we're purchasing them, or other than just making sure we're getting a organic?
A good quality organic. Now, I did find out that the Sancha, Sancha,
that's what I got right here,
is Japanese green tea made from steamed leaves, which is considered one of the highest potencies.
Okay.
only less than, the only one that's less than is matcha. Matcha is like top.
Okay.
So if you're getting a matcha, which is the entire leaf is ground up and it's usually very, very green, a little tiny teaspoon in a cup of hot water is all you need of the matcha.
I always say matcha. Yeah.
But the matcha is supposed to be, if you're getting a good quality matcha, that one's supposed to be like the most potent green tea.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that I found, all of the high grade Japanese green teas produce the most potent yet sweet flavored green tea.
Interesting.
So I would say if you're wanting a good green tea, look for a good quality Japanese green tea.
Okay. And that's what believe it or not, Sprouts has, I know not everybody has Sprouts, but I'm impressed with Sprouts store brand, because theirs is, their store brand green tea is like pennies compared to other ones. They're a lot less expensive, but they have an organic sencha, and that's what I've been buying.
Yes.
So that's good to know that that's one of the better ones. And the matcha, I know a lot of people drink the matcha like mixed in as a tea. I don't like powder.
The gritty?
Yeah.
I don't either.
I don't like powder. So I've been putting my matcha in smoothies.
Yeah.
And that is, so I kind of have my two different ones. I have my brewed ones, and then I have the ones that I just put in there. And that's what I use that for.
I'm the same, because any of the powders I don't like in my tea, because it feels gritty.
Yeah.
And I don't care how finely ground it is, it still feels gritty. So I do the same thing, Wendy. To me, those things are better in a smoothie or something else. I don't like the powders in my tea, because I don't know.
You don't notice them in a smoothie if you're already doing something that's super thick.
Yeah.
And I don't believe, I'm sure, there's a lot of people out there that would disagree. We'll have to do a whole show on this one day, Wendy. I don't believe in juicing. I feel like you lose so much in the pulp of juicing. So I'm a big smoothie girl, and keeping all the nutrients in there, not straining anything off. So the way that I do my smoothies, I mean, it's so daggone thick, and I'm always throwing green stuff in it. So you never know that it's there. It's just tasteless, and consistency wise.
You can put so much in a smoothie and not even know it's there.
A lot. It's insane how much I put in mine sometimes, depending on what I'm working on at the time. But yeah, it's crazy.
I did also learn that the level of oxidation affects the flavor of the green tea.
Oh, interesting.
I thought that was interesting too.
So did it say like higher is better tasting?
It did. The higher oxidation level, the better. And I'm not sure what makes it higher oxidated. I'm not sure.
That's interesting.
It is interesting. So that was all my little notes on green tea and the differences. I thought I was going to find a lot more on that, but I mean, that totally makes sense on just the region alone.
That is.
Or it seems like some of them are grown in the shade and some of them are grown in the sun. So obviously that would make a difference.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
And then the way it's harvested, the way it's processed.
Mm-hmm. That's
so
great.
Yeah, totally makes sense now.
Good. So we're on the right track.
Yes, right. That's right.
Good. Because when we were talking about that and all the different ones we were finding, and it's like, what the heck? And we're not new to green teas, but we're new to being really aware of their health benefits. So when we're seeing that there's over 1,000 varieties, it's like, well, crap, where do we start?
And I just wanted to know what the difference was.
Yeah.
Because how do you make an informed decision if you don't have all of the information?
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? If you all don't learn anything else from our WOW podcasts, I hope you recognize that it is a lifelong journey, y'all.
That's
Wendy
right.
and I are sponges. We love to learn, and we've been at this for 12 years. So something always, to me, it's a lot. I mean, not to compare anything to reading the Bible, but you don't get bored with reading the Bible when you're really in it, because it's the living word.
And you're
things are
constantly
always
learning, you're
yes,
constantly evolving.
right. And so just like that with health, things that we might have read 100 times before, all of a sudden are going to jump out at us and go, okay, this is what you're supposed to be focusing on right now.
That's right.
And it's just really fascinating. So Wendy and I are always learning and always amazed by the things that we find out there.
And sometimes it's the simplest little things that we just never thought about before.
Yeah. I used to tell people that when I was training them to be new nurses, I used to tell them that if you ever come into your job with the attitude that you know it all and nobody can teach you anything, it's time to go. Yep. It's time to go. And I mean, I would say that applies to any job, but I used to not be able to stand young little nurses that would come in, and they weren't all like this, but young little nurses that would come in acting like they knew everything. And I'm like, oh, sweetheart.
You have so much to learn. I know. I feel like every time I learn something new, I feel like what I don't know grows.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. You realize how much more there is left to learn. Yeah. So, and you know what? These GLP-1 hormone boosters, the agonists, are no different.
Yes. All right. So explain to people again what the GLP-1s are. Wendy.
Yeah. So GLP-1 is a hormone it stands for glucagon-like peptide. The reason why we're talking about this today is because the GLP-1 agonists have become very, very popular among everybody, but especially young females, as a form of weight loss. And these medications are things that you are seeing all the cute little commercials with everybody dancing and singing cute songs and all this stuff for Wegovy and Ozempic and Trulicity. And there's several like that. Yeah. But anyway,
coming out with more every day, it seems.
They are. And I have just had this heaviness weighing on me, and I started off talking about this last week. So if you missed if you missed last week's, go back and watch that, and it'll be a better overview of why I am where I'm at with this. But I'm just so sad that is the route that so many people are going to lose weight, and it's because they are not considering long-term health.
Yeah.
They are looking at, in many cases, vanity.
A quick fix.
And
easy.
Quick fixes. Yes. If that's going to give me the weight loss boost I need, forget all the hard stuff. I'm jumping right to that. Yeah. And the thing is that it goes beyond weight management.
Yes.
Our goal, yes, is to live a healthy weight. Something I have a huge heart for this. I've struggled with this my entire life. Okay. Mm-hmm. I get the weight management, but it goes beyond that. Our goal should be to create a path to healthy longevity.
That's right.
And if we are not doing that, if we are not making lifestyle changes, we aren't doing that.
Yeah.
You cannot fool your system into, let me produce extra GLP-1 hormone by taking this shot every day or every week or however often you're supposed to do it, and tell my body that, oh, hey, okay, I'm going to be full, if I take this. That GLP-1 hormone is designed to help with weight management and to help you feel satisfied with the food you're eating. But the problem is there are so many long-term health risks that this is something you can't ignore. For one, in every clinical trial, 95% of all the weight came back within the first year. So you're on a lifelong drug. As soon as
they stop taking it, right?
Yes. Okay. You're on a lifelong drug. They aren't talking about this. And I can tell you from listening to people who have made this choice, Oh, that won't happen to me. I'm gonna, do all the things and again, they think they're gonna fool the system. They're not. This is designed to be a lifelong drug.
Yep.
That is
By
what it is
design.
designed to be.
By design.
Yes. And the scary thing is that even in their clinical trials, they've done trials that show that after 2 and 3 years, there's massive increase in thyroid cancer, pancreatitis, y'all, the suicide rate. And they're allowing this medication now for ages 12 and up in a time in history when our teenagers have never been more confused and have never had
more suicidal.
Right. And have more standing against their mental health. Yep. And we're going to throw a medication at them that increases the risk of suicidal ideation. It's a horrible idea. Yep. And I know personally, I don't know personally this person, but I have a friend of a friend who committed suicide within 2 weeks after starting on Wegovy. And according to my friend, that was not typical for this person.
Right.
Now, were there other dark things going on inside their mind that gets them to that point?
Sure.
Probably, but they had never been somebody that anybody in their friend group or family thought, wow, we might actually have to worry about this person one day. Right. 2 weeks after starting on Wegovy, they're dead.
Wow. Well, I know just from my experience, my aunt that lives with me was put on the Ozempic for diabetes, and it definitely helped her lose the weight and with appetite control and stuff. But what happened was she started having like dizzy flares. And she went to bingo one night and she ended up having one of those dizzy flares and ended up in the emergency room. Well, it was a really big red flag when the PA in the emergency room called it an Ozempic flare, which tells me that they know this is happening. It's happening a lot for them to call it an Ozempic flare.
Yeah, 100%. And the thing is, if you, I'm going to quote the great Dr. Mark Hyman, who I quote a lot. He says this a lot about.
We love him.
Yes. Oh, he's just so brilliant. I love him. But he talks about how doctors treat people with high cholesterol as having a statin deficiency, and that's why they go right to statins. I'm telling you right now, if you're overweight, you do not have an Ozempic deficiency. No. You do not have a GLP-1 deficiency. You have the need to boost it and ways to manage it. And that's what I want to share is that, I've been doing a lot of research on what boosts the GLP-1 hormone in our bodies naturally. And the very first thing that I have to say is it's every flipping thing I already teach. So I didn't have to do a big stretch to create a program specific for this or to create a pathway for this. But there are certain foods that if you focus a little bit heavier on them, they can, give a bigger boost, certain supplements, certain herbs, things like that. So in my pathway, for those who are either on the medication or considering the medication, or have a lot of weight to lose or whatever, I am going to put them down this pathway of GLP-1 hormone boosting. Nice. And it'll be naturally. And it'll, and you'll have a lot of information that'll come with it. We will talk about the beauty in diversifying your diet. Having a diversified diet as opposed to eating the same daggone thing every day makes a huge difference in all health. But definitely diversifying what you're eating, limiting antibiotics. We really need the biggest thing that I have to tell you about all health, but this being no different, is that your gut has got to get healed. So with folks who are on GLP-1 agonists or for folks that are considering it, my first thing is going to be healing your gut. And again, that's what I do with everybody. But because you are not going to get a good GLP-1 hormone boost in your body if your gut is a mess. So we're going to do things that are going to specifically focus on that to make sure that we're cleaning up your gut.
That's like the root of all, isn't it?
It is.
Cleaning
It
up
really
the gut
is.
like the root of a healthy system. Everything else working.
Yep. Picking the right foods. And again, eating clean. If you don't do anything else, stop putting toxins in your body willingly and knowingly. We already can't control all the craziness going on in our environment. You can do certain things in your home to improve your environment. You can control what you are putting in your mouth.
Absolutely.
And you've got to stop putting processed foods, all the genetically modified garbage, it's so bad for our guts and for our systems. And just like I'm telling people that, want to, lose weight with a quick fix, you also can't just throw supplements at your body to heal. Now, there are some that I do highly recommend, but the foundation needs to be, eating clean.
The clean food, because that's going to give yourself the biggest fighting chance of sustainability, longevity, and because you're going to be teaching yourself a new way where you'll never have to go backwards again.
That's right. And, the things I always talk about high fiber, good quality, high quality fats, the right amount of protein, all of this is the exact same things you need to boost your GLP-1 hormone. You want foods that are, and this is where I come in with a lot of my programs, is that I'm going to, if we're on a certain path, focused on the GLP-1 boosting, I'm going to focus on foods that are high in oleic acid. I don't expect you all to know all of those foods, but I mean,
that's what you have you for.
Right. But I mean, it's so funny. There's a running joke with anybody that's followed me for any amount of time that I swear that all things can be healed by eating avocado. This is no different. High in oleic acid. It's good quality fat. It's good.
Well, it used to be apple a day. Now it's avocado a day.
Look at that apple. I'm telling you, you gotta have that avocado. So, but good quality olive oil, fatty fish like salmon and sardines are a good one. That's not one that I care to eat, but I'll eat salmon all day long.
Right.
High fiber grains. This is something that I choose wisely depending on what else folks need to focus on, because oats are wonderful for the GLP-1 boosting, but can be very counterproductive if somebody wants to eat, a double portion of oatmeal every morning because they're very high in net carbs. So, working them in, like maybe doing an overnight oats that is also inclusive of chia and flax.
And make sure you're buying, if you're doing oats, make sure that you're buying a high quality, organic. I don't know if you got an email from the EWG, but they just put out a big thing on the oats and what's going on. Not in a good way with the oats.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of different things. I didn't read that one yet, so I'm sure that, a lot of theirs.
Yeah, I think it just went out yesterday.
Yeah.
But it's very disturbing.
Yeah. Knowing what they focus on, I'm sure a lot of it has to do with the pesticides used, and that's important. I haven't read it yet, but I know that that's where their focus usually is. They're exactly right.
Please get organic.
Yes. Organic and gluten-free.
Yes.
And the reason why I say to make sure, yes, oats naturally are gluten-free, but the problem is that a lot of farmers mill them together with wheat. So you don't know if you're getting cross-contamination. And so you want to get one that specifies gluten-free, because when they do, they are keeping them separated from the wheat.
That's good to know.
Yeah, but organic is huge. Now, I test people on, when I do my trigger food testing, I test people on oats as one of the things I test them, because a lot of people have a grain reaction. I won't say a lot, a fair number of people have a reaction to grains, but it's not necessarily the grains themselves, because even high quality grains can have fungicides sprayed in the holding tanks. And so, and if it's raised organically, they can still call it organic and then use something after the fact. And that is so frustrating. So I I always encourage people kind of listen to your body, because it could be that you don't tolerate grains, or that you have a reaction to that fungicide. So that's being used. Anyway, went off the rails on that, but bottom line is every one of these foods I would be looking at depending on the situation of the person and how I'm going to increase, certain things in their diet. Nuts and seeds are great. Walnuts, almonds, chia and flax are wonderful. And also pumpkin and sesame seeds are, because they also provide tryptophan, which is also an important amino acid that our bodies need in the production of serotonin. And this was my big aha moment. I just thought this was fascinating. I've done whole seminars on tryptophan before. Okay, tryptophan is really important, but one of the fascinating things about tryptophan, when we consume something that's high in tryptophan, I just mentioned a couple, also turkey, chicken. That's why you get that, after your turkey, you get that, that itis. You want to pass out. It's the serotonin production, but also eggs. There's a lot of good, healthy foods that are high in tryptophan. But here's the thing that's fascinating. If your gut is not healthy, when you put that tryptophan in your system, it does not help the production of serotonin. It goes right into an inflammatory mode because it recognizes there's a problem. So
it's trying to fix the problem.
Exactly. And so what happens when we don't have healthy guts is we are then not able to take advantage of that tryptophan that is going to help boost our GLP-1, is going to help with the production of serotonin. And then we end up, because anybody that doesn't understand serotonin, that is what manages a lot of our anxiety, our depression, our moods. And if we don't have that, then we might have those feelings of despair. We might have, feelings of anxiety, and it all stems in the gut. 85% of our serotonin is made in the gut.
Yep.
So my aha moment was all these folks that are jumping past the fix your gut, fuel your body with the right foods, and
a lot of anxiety, severe anxiety, comes from an unhealthy gut.
100%.
So it's like you can do other things to like calm your symptoms of things, but you're not fixing anything.
Exactly. And that's why I always start everything that I teach with the healing of the gut. That is so paramount. But here's what got me in the light of the GLP-1 agonists is that if you're skipping past all of that, which creates the happy hormones, which creates the ability to manage our our stress, our anxiety, our depression, jumping right over that, right for this shot that's supposed to just make you feel full.
Right.
You're missing out on all of the benefits of that healed gut. And it is no wonder that we are struggling with mental health. With the folks that are taking this. Now, if you're listening to me and you've taken it and you're like, please, I'm happy every day. Nothing that we teach is 100% for everybody. Everybody is a unique human, a unique individual.
And I have a couple friends that are on it, and they told me that it is worth whatever risk that's out there. And I'm like, okay, as long as you know what the risks are.
That just absolutely crushes my soul.
Mine
because
too.
I get it. I've been there. I have struggled with my weight. I have all these things. But if you don't clean up your diet, you are going to get whatever risks come associated with this drug. Plus, you're going to find yourself on other drugs that are going to end up creating even a worse problem for your
More
gut.
problems. It's that vicious cycle.
It's the vicious cycle. You got to stop it.
Becoming the lifelong customer.
Yes, exactly. And I need you to really meditate and pray about what is your why?
Yeah.
If we are just worried about what we see when we look in the mirror, you're never going to be happy.
That's right.
You're never going to be happy. If you are worried about true health, about having a fulfilling, long-lasting life, about having the ability to play with your grandbabies and dance at their weddings and
quality of life.
That's why I call it healthy longevity. It's not just about how many years we live. Our big pharma's gotten really good at adding years to our life. We need to add life to our years.
That's right.
That's on us.
That's right.
That is 100% on us. And
yes,
if we don't make the lifestyle changes, you are not going to have that.
Nope.
So I just need you to understand, though, it doesn't have to be that complex.
No.
It's small changes. It's a process. It's a journey. It is something that, yes, I teach people in 16 weeks, but I don't expect you to have all the answers in 16 weeks. As Wendy and I just said, we've been at this for 12, almost 13 years.
And we're still evolving. We're still growing.
On our journey. We are. We're still on our journey.
Yeah.
Become a lifelong committed health nut. And you're going to learn things every day. And you know what? You're not going to get it right every day.
And I wouldn't even say it's a health nut. Let's just say, let's get back to how it used to be.
You're right. We're not the weirdos.
Let's learn something old.
Yes. It's so funny because we've talked about that before, that, we are living in a society where you and I are the weirdos. And it's like, no, we're not. All these people buying into this nonsense of medications and, thinking that,
people that aren't researchers want to research a plant or an herb recommendation I give them, but they'll have 5 prescription meds lined up and never blink twice about the risk involved in taking them.
Yes, exactly. I have people that have told me that they have anxiety over choosing produce because of the potential chemicals on the produce. But those same people will go right down through the middle of the grocery store and buy anything in a box or a jar that's easy. And I'm like, all right, I need you to think logically here, because your last problem is what you are putting in your cart in the produce section if you're still purchasing those other items.
Yeah. And, if anybody has that anxiety about the produce, a little baking soda and vinegar goes a long way in the sink.
It does. It does. It goes a huge way. And please don't misunderstand my passion for being judgmental. That's not it. No. I've lived it.
Yeah.
I've lived it.
We've been there. That's why we can talk about it. We can laugh about it. We've been there.
I do. When Wendy and I have these conversations, we feel like we're talking about ourselves because we both experienced all of this stuff. And because I now have the knowledge I do, it literally, when I tell y'all it keeps me up at night, my sleep has been atrocious this month as I have been processing all of this. And I literally wake up at 3 a.m. like, okay, God, what is it that I need to think about at 3 a.m.? And I keep going back to how can I help folks with this? And it's funny because I'm struggling to take my own advice of, the anxiety inducing not getting enough sleep when I know that's so important, but I'm just struggling because it's on my brain. This is what keeps me up at night is knowing that people are out there choosing this method. And some people I love, choosing this method and, 20 years from now, what regrets, and I don't believe in living in regret.
No.
But what things are you going to look back and go, oh, if only I'd known? And I'm telling you, I get it. A lot of you all don't know. That's why I'm hoping you're listening to me and to us. And,
No,
and
and I think
because
that's the whole thing. I think that sometimes we hear things and a lot of people already know that they need to make better choices.
yeah,
Okay. But I don't think the vast knowledge of what the processed chemicals,
yeah,
they know it's bad for them.
right,
They don't know how bad for them.
right,
Because
exactly.
I mean, we've lived, anybody our age has lived our entire lives
Mhm.
with the same box stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think the box stuff today is exactly what the box stuff was 30
No,
years ago.
no, there's
I really
10,000
don't.
ingredients now. There's
Yes.
10,000 additives that have been
Yes.
swept under the rug and called generally recognized as safe by the
Yes.
FDA because they've trusted these ridiculous big conglomerates
Or
to
just like
do.
your fast food restaurants. Look at the ingredients today versus 30 or 40 years ago when they first started.
I remember the days of when I was working at McDonald's as a teenager of
Mhm.
seeing the ingredients on
Yeah.
the bag, and it was potatoes for the
Yeah.
French fries. And we were cooking them in beef tallow,
Yeah.
and we were sprinkling them with salt.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was
Right.
it.
So see, so everything has changed to where it's like add to where it becomes less real in everything.
I was just having this conversation with somebody the other day, and I've done, again, whole seminars on Chick-fil-A. You know, so many people, especially Christians, because they're, you know, they have the values of staying closed on Sundays. They want to love the Lord's chicken.
And everyone thinks that's a better option for fast food.
They do. And it's not. It's garbage. Their grilled chicken has like 19 ingredients, including like TBHQ, THBQ, whichever one that is. It's a hormone disruptor.
That's
and
crazy.
You're feeding it to your babies. I did it too. But I'm just telling you the stuff that is in that. It's more and more of this garbage and less chicken. So you just
less real, more fake, less real.
All of it is garbage. So anyway, the main things that I want you to hear is that it is possible to boost your GLP-1. You want high antioxidant foods. You want you want fruits and vegetables that are high in fiber, that are you know, your raspberries. Your best fruits are going to be your berries. They really are. They're going to be your berries. The vegetables, anything green is always going to be your best options. And I mean, there's a lot of things that are better than others, but that's just me trying to keep it simple.
Right.
If you're thinking about berries and green vegetables, you can't go wrong if you're getting those in your life every day.
That's
Spinach is wonderful for this. Blueberries, you know, if you like tea, Wendy and I have talked about the banana peel tea before. Mm-hmm. That also, when you increase your tryptophan levels, and that is a wonderful amount of tryptophan. I drink it when I drink it in the evenings to help me settle down for sleep. But that tryptophan will also help, you feel satisfied because it's boosting the GLP-1 hormone. So, chickpeas and lentils are very good. They're high in the tryptophan as well. Cinnamon, green tea is high is a good GLP-1 booster. Ginger, turmeric, a lot of these, things that we talk about all the time
that try to get in on a daily basis.
Yeah. And
all the small stuff.
I have a couple of supplements that I recommend only after the gut is ready to accept supplements, because like I've shared before, it's a waste of money to put supplements in an unhealthy gut. It really is. But and I don't ever recommend the ones that I know we can get from food, but things like berberine, gardenia, ginseng, those are really, really good for boosting your GLP-1 hormone naturally.
Yeah.
So, if you've gone to what you need to do to have a healthy gut, those are very helpful, as well as taking a good probiotic is good just for helping your gut. Eating prebiotic foods, which again is the high fiber. It helps to put good bacteria in your gut, but doesn't stick around. So it gets out of your system quick. Your body can't digest it, which means that you're eating these great filling foods that are then going right through your system. So also just in general, and we'll wrap up this topic, sunlight. We've talked about that before. Light therapy.
So it helps so much with so many different things.
Yes, and that helps to increase the GLP-1 hormone. Decreasing your stress. If everybody in the world would stop taking these daggone things, then maybe my stress would decrease. I'm just kidding. Because that's what is keeping me up right now. But no, seriously, decreasing your stress using guided prayer and meditation, using yoga, different kinds of de-stressing activities like, I don't know, what's some of our favorites? I would just say reading, doing like doodling with music, just kind of like
music definitely for me, and a little walk helps tremendously for me.
Yeah. Exercise. Well, exercise is good. I mean, that again will boost your GLP-1 hormone. So.
And it also, exercise to me is the best form of fighting depression.
It is. It is. It really is. So anyway, bottom line, it can be done naturally. I'm gonna be putting together a whole lot more, but right now I'm for the highlights, because I could only do but so much in this, in these
in our time frame.
Yeah, I mean, I could literally speak for weeks on the things that we could do for this. So that's why with my clients, it's going to be a new pathway, because I want to have them heavily focused on either getting off or preventing the GLP-1. I just want them to boost it naturally.
I know once you heal your gut, a good tea for boosting the GLP-1 is yerba mate.
Interesting. Interesting. That's good to know.
I like to mix that with my ginseng.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like a
I have some of that.
Kind of like a coffee. Gives you kind of like a coffee jolt.
Yeah.
Not some people will make them jittery like coffee with those two together, but I like them when I need a pick me up.
That's good to know, because I've got some of that and I didn't realize that it was for that as well. That's great. Yes. That's great. So on that note, reach out to me if you have any questions. I feel like I've still left so much hanging, because literally when I tell you I could talk on this for 2 weeks, and I don't mean 2 podcast weeks. I mean like for 2 weeks straight.
That's because you are chock full of information.
Yes, there's so much that can be done, but the bottom line is it can be done naturally. Diet, exercise, light, de-stress, all of these things are so important. And with diet, high fiber, be fiber focused, good healthy fats, right amount of protein, which I could talk about that all on a separate day as well. But, increase your resveratrol, increase your antioxidants, and this is through foods, your tryptophan, your oleic acid, all of these are important for this. So, what are you up to this week, my dear?
I did gift bags this year for my closest friends of homemade turkey, homemade things, everything homemade. So I had a ton of homemade vanilla extract that I passed out this year. I made a peppermint foot scrub that I think is just amazing.
That's awesome.
Using a mix of Epsom salt and Dead Sea salts, just to put the minerals back through the feet, because I think that's powerful. So I am enjoying the feedback that I'm receiving from my homemade gift bags of things this year.
That's awesome.
This week I'm going to be, the other day I had some time and I actually strained like 6 different tinctures. I had that butterfly pea flower tincture from July that I finally strained. It was absolutely beautiful, dark blue.
Ooh.
I have a couple people testing that out for me because with ADHD symptoms.
Okay.
So far I've gotten some wonderful feedback on that about instantaneous calming.
Nice.
Couple drops under the tongue, and that's it. I think that's going to be amazing. So I'm still straining some tinctures this week, and I have my wild yam to strain and chaseberries to strain to make wild yam cream.
Awesome.
So I'll be trying to get more and more done, and I am I'm working on verbiage for my website.
Oh, exciting.
So we will be announcing very soon the name of the new business and the launch of the website.
That's great. That's very exciting.
I am excited.
For you. Well, this week, if I'm just working on my 12 days of Christmas.
Nice.
I'm doing an email every day, as well as a post on social every day, to draw people to 12 different things during the 12 days of Christmas that are going to help improve your health as we roll into 2025. I do have a special that ends noon on New Year's Eve. That is anybody that signs up for one of my 16-week or 6-month programs is getting the balance of the year in my phase 2 program for free. And that is a value, depending on when you start, of up to $1,900. That's huge value.
That's a huge value.
I did this last year and I loved how many people took advantage of it. And now I'm sad to see them go because I've been with them all year, but now they're at the end of that special that they did with me. I have other people on phase 2 as well, but these particular people that took advantage of that last year have all been going through this together, and it's been kind of cool. And I've watched, a lot of them just go through so much growth over the last year. So I decided it would be another really good opportunity to do that again this year.
What a great value.
Yeah.
What a great value.
I will tell you too. Oh, and also for my past clients, I'm doing a 15% discount off of phase 2 for those who want to do it, as well as offering them the consults with both you and Monica for free, which doesn't typically come for my with my phase 2 program, but I want to give them that as part of a thank you for continuing on with phase 2 or coming back to phase 2. Nice. So all those specials end noon on the 31st, and I am officially launching, even though it's been, launched, but officially launching day 1 of the new program online. The way that all my clients see it will start to look differently starting on the 6th of January. So I'm super excited about that. And it's just working my butt off to get that ready. So
there's always a ton to do, right?
Yes. So we will come to you all live again next week.
Yes.
We will be back on Wednesdays, I think. If not, it'll definitely
be New Year's Day. We're going to start the new year off together.
Perfect. So yes, we will be back on Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining Wendy's on Wellness Wednesday on Thursday this week. Right. Y'all have an amazing
rigid flexibility week. Always.
Yes. Have an amazing week, an amazing new year, and we will join you in the new year together next week. We love y'all.
Love you.